Today I'm making chorizo Mediterranean pasta for 4 people. Let's start. For this recipe you are going to need chorizo, 2 red peppers, 2 red onions, 2 mild chillies, 3 garlic cloves, 1 teaspoon of caster sugar, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, a kilo of small ripe tomatoes, 350 grams of dried pasta, a handful of fresh basil leaves, 2 tablespoons of grated parmesan. You need to preheat your oven. For a normal oven it's 200 Celsius, for a gas oven it's Mark 6 and for a fan oven it's 180. For the red pepper you need to cut it into chunks. You do this by cutting it in half and pulling out the stalks and making sure you get all the seeds out. Once you've done that, you cut it into slices. They can be quite thick slices, and then you just cut it into 3 across. And do the same with the other one. Once you've done all that, you get a roasting pan and sprinkle some oil over the bottom of it, and then you put the red pepper in. And just scatter the red pepper on. For the red onion, you want to cut off this end and cut it in half. And then just peel off the skin. And then just cut it into wedges. And cut the end off. Do the same with the other half, with the other onion. Once you've done both of the onions, then you just scatter in with the pepper. For the garlic, you need to roughly chop it. You do this by cutting the end off and just peeling off the skin. And then you just crush it with a knife. And just roughly chop it. And do the same with the other 2. Once you've done all that, you need to scatter it in with the pepper and onion. For the chilli, you need to cut it in half and just scoop out all the seeds. Once you've done that, you turn them over and just make a small cut down the middle without going through the stalk, and then just finely chop into squares. And do the same with the other half. And do the same with the other one. Once you've chopped up both chilies, you just scatter across all the veg that I've already pre-cooked. For the chorizo, you need to cut it into mouth-sized pieces. Once you've done the chorizo, just sprinkle it over the vegetables. And then you sprinkle on some sugar. Season with salt and pepper. And then drizzle on some more olive oil. Then you put it in the oven for 15 minutes. Once it's been 15 minutes, you need to get the vegetables out and give them a quick move around. And then you need to put the tomatoes on the top. Once you've got all the tomatoes on, you need to then put it in the oven for another 15 minutes. Once you put it back in the oven, you need to get a saucepan for your pasta and just fill it up with water. And then you just season the water with salt. And then you just put it on a high heat and put the lid on and wait for it to boil. For the basil leaves, you just need to tear them into smaller pieces. Once the water's boiling, that's when you need to put the pasta in. Depending on if it's dried or fresh, depends on how long you cook it for. If it's fresh, you cook it for 4 minutes. If it's dried, you cook it for 9 minutes. Once your pasta's boiled, then you need to drain out the water. Then you need to get your roast out of the oven. Then you give it a quick stir around. Then you need to put the pasta on. And just mix that up. Once you've done that, you just need to scatter on the basil and then sprinkle on the parmesan. And there you go, Chorizo Mediterranean pasta. Thanks for watching my recipe, I hope you enjoyed it. If you make it, I'd like to read what you think about it in the comments below. All my links to Twitter, my Facebook page and the recipe will be in the description. Thanks for watching, bye!